All right, it is October 6th, it's Friday, and today is my fiance's birthday, so I'm gonna keep this kind of chill, but I think that's a poop for sure. All right, little wardrobe change, a little too warm in here. Today, I'm gonna go over Haltech Nexus R5, some of the stuff you can integrate with it. I've done videos on this system in the past. This is going on the Malibu this time. So I'm gonna run through what I purchased, what I'll be using, and kind of how easy it is as far as connectivity and expansion and all that. There's a bunch of plus sides to Haltech that a lot of people don't explore, they're not aware of. If they're committed to a certain brand, they don't want to go outside their scope. I understand that. At the same time, if you have a minute, just tune in, keep an open mind. Let's see what we can find out about you, about me. Let's just get together, get in the mix, let it happen. You know what I mean? Pants off, or on, whatever, it's cool. All right, so this is, again, the Nexus ECU. And when you buy it, if you buy it from dynasty.com, that's the place to buy it, first of all. When you buy it, it'll come with 2 seals on it, your packing seal, and then your disclaimer seal. Let's get to slicing. When you open it up, it says, warning, performance enhancing technology inside. You got your quick start guide. All you need to know about the ECU. Again, keep this, do not throw this out. The ECU itself. You'll notice on the front of the ECU, you have a power lug, you have a ground lug. The unique part of this ECU is the quick connects for power are super nice, super easy, and they're on the face of the ECU, so when you mount it, you have more options in terms of routing wiring. Pull that sucker out. You can see you have your 4 mounting holes. And yes, it does come with hardware for that, with locking nuts. Lock the nuts, lock them up. You also have this whole sticker up here. It's a cover on top of these LEDs. These LEDs, they highlight engine status, so you have power, check engine light, Wi-Fi, data logging, and then 1 through 12 of your 8 amp outputs. 25 amp outputs you have 4 of. One thing kind of cool about that sticker, this is silly, but just stay with me. Let's say you mount the ECU backwards, like you don't mount it in the orientation they delivered it. Well, they give you another sticker that is also backwards, so you can peel the sticker up and you have this sticker in place of it, and you can still see all the LED status lights, and it still reads left to right, and it doesn't drive your OCD insane, which is a cool feature to have. I know that's silly, but it's super cool to me, and that's all that matters. Now, this ECU is not only an ECU, it's considered a VCU, a vehicle control unit. It's got outputs built in that are also part of the onboard PDM, power distribution module. So all of these outputs you can monitor in your computer. So if you're running, let's say, your fuel pump off an output, a 25 amp output, you can pull the log afterwards and see how many amps your fuel pump is pulling. Fans, ignition coils, injectors, all that sort of stuff you can run directly from the ECU. Now that's not an uncommon thing, but what is uncommon is being able to have 25 amps worth of power as an output on board an ECU. Usually you have to buy an add-on box, your own power distribution module, so on and so forth. This, you don't have to do it, it's all inclusive. Backside of the ECU probably looks familiar to a lot of people. A lot of these connectors are pretty universal, Holley, Haltech, etc. You have 4 total main connectors. You have your 4 amp out, or your 4 25 amp output. This is the lead that goes to those. You have your Wi-Fi antenna. Yeah, Wi-Fi. It has Wi-Fi, and they give you this cool antenna that screws into that port, and now you can log into your ECU without having to plug a cable into it. So if the ECU itself is mounted under dash or somewhere it's hard to get to, throw this on there and you're good to go. Makes life super easy. All right, so slide that to the side. Again, mounting bolts, they give you some stickers, a quick start guide, some patches, just a bunch of cool stuff, right? It comes with a bunch of stuff that's neat. Put it to the side for now though. What we want to talk about is the extra boxes I have, which are right over here. And this is something that's kind of daunting for some people, and the reason I want to highlight this is to show you how easy it is to use add-on stuff with the Nexus ECU. First, let's go over what the parts are. So this is your digital dash, their IC7 digital dash, 3x5 keypad, CAN-based keypad, and a TCA8 thermocouple amplifier. So those are the names. Now what do they freaking do? The digital dash is pretty self-explanatory. Again, dynasty.com if you want to purchase one. Packing seal, disclaimer seal, whatever you want to call them. crack this thing open. Same cool packaging. The Nexus comes in. The insert obviously is a little different. Quick start guide, including a mounting template, which is sick. So if you're making your own dash mount, this is a physical, correct example of what you need to do, including where to drill holes, all that stuff. The dash itself. So this dash, if I can get it out, they have finger holes. I love this dash. And that's not just because I'm a Haltech dealer and because I sell Haltech. Out of all the dashes on the market, I don't know what the thing is about this dash. It just makes me feel good. It's physical construction. It's sturdy. It's sound. It has external buttons, which I actually like the non-passive screen style buttons. I like the physical buttons. This is a RPM shift light. It'll grow LEDs inward as you need to shift. It'll also sound alarms if you have warnings set up on the dash. If you have a chance, go look at some additional videos on this dash and how it operates, because they are absolutely sick. And connection, which I'll get to, is absolutely extremely over the top, so freaking simple. Again, I'll get to connection in just a second, but that's your dash. Next, we have the TCA8 thermocouple amplifier. What is this? This is very simple. You guys ever hear of EGTs? EGT probes are what you run in your exhaust so you can see exactly what the temperature of each cylinder is. It helps diagnose things like misfire, injectors going out, spark just acting like a goofy BOTCH botch. Well, you know the deal. I can't say things correctly every time. But either way, you might say I botched that. Oh my God! Anyway, TCA8 box, crack that sucker open. What do you have? The fit and finish of this stuff, again, I know I keep harping on that, but look at this. How much space is this really gonna take up on your board? Nothing. And it's so simple. You see all those ports, I'll get to those in just a sec, but you have two mounting holes, you got one cable plug up here. If you look closely, they're numbered. So if you have 8 cylinders, your TCA8 box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can plug your EGT probes directly into this box, mount it securely away from heat, and now you have all the thermocouple information you need in one tidy package. Last up, keypad 3x5. What does that mean, 3x5? It means it's a 15 button keypad. Same deal, got the packing slip. Get this thing open, what do you have? Imagine that, 15 button keypad, 3x5, 3x5. Now, this thing is honestly probably my favorite part of the whole operation, because instead of having a million rocker switches or turn rotary switches, whatever, everything can come directly from this small, thin push button thing. The other thing it comes with, look at all the variants and buttons and labels that they offer you. So if you have gear selection, valet mode, pit speed, don't panic, the bunny, and then rye, little sticker of rye right there, you can see it. Nitrous purge, cruise control, front windshield, all of these stickers come with it. And the reason that that's cool is it kind of highlights what you can actually do with this one keypad. You can literally control everything from starting the vehicle. You can do turn signals. You can do page up for boost. You can do decrease boost. You could do anti-lag. You could do wipers. I mean, everything. You could do all that right from this keypad, and it's all CAN-based, which bridges to my next explanation. How hard is it to connect all of these boxes to the ECU? All right, so when it comes to connecting this stuff, that's the daunting task. Everyone hates wiring. So what I'll start with is this little piece down here. This is called a CAN hub. Keep this in mind, it does not come with the ECU. It does not come with any of the stuff that's shown here. It's an extra part. Again, you do not have to use this, but it is something that may make life easier for you, and I'll explain that in just a second. Each one of these pieces comes with its own lead wiring to go back to the ECU. The TCA8 is unique in that it has a screw lock attachment, and that's the only thing it has. So if you look at this, it's keyed. You can see that. It's actually keyed specifically for this. And if I can do this on camera, that'd be cool. If I can't, sorry. But there you go, keyed and locked. And you'll see the end of it is just a 4-pin male Deutsch connector. Next, you have the dash. The dash comes with this lead harness. You'll notice this looks a lot like the plugs that are on the back of the ECU. It's not the same. However, it does come with this lead. Plug that in. What's on the other end of it? A 4-pin female Deutsch connector. 3x5 keypad. What's that look like? Looks like a 4-pin male Deutsch connector. So plug that sucker in. Done. That's all there is to that. They're all Deutsch connectors. The other thing that these pieces come with, the dash, for example, comes with this giant lead. This lead just plugs into here. Where do you think this other end can go? 2 places. Up your butt and around the corner. I'm kidding, obviously. Can plug directly in to your CAN hub. Done, okay? Same deal with this. You just extend it and plug it right into your CAN hub. Your TCA8, male connector on the end, plug it right into your CAN hub. So all this stuff plugs and plays directly into a CAN hub like this, and then you take one CAN hub, empty CAN hub slot, and run that back to your ECU. Boom, everything has what it needs to operate, to communicate, and to talk to your ECU, and it all comes with pre-finished wiring. If this wiring is not to your spec or you want it custom, whatever, all it is a 4-pin Deutsch connector. Very simple, very straightforward, no over-the-top headaches when it comes to connection and wiring. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard for me to remember everything that this ECU does, so I'm going to be reading off a teleprompter, which is just the spec list. 12 ignition outputs, 18 injector outputs, 8 digital pulsed outputs, so boost control, bump, whatever you want to do with that. You have 1 main power for your ignition switch. You have 4 half bridge outputs, so if you want to go positive switch, negative switch, whatever, 12 8 amp high current outputs. So anything that draws 8 amps or less, you can power. You have 12 of those. You have 4 outputs that are 25 amp. You have 23 AVIs, analog voltage inputs. So pressure sensors, temperature sensors, stuff like that, 23 of those. You have 10 SPIs, synchronized pulse inputs, so speed. If you have wheel speed, if you have drive shaft speed, input shaft speed, any of that stuff, flex fuel, for example, uses SPI. 2 knock inputs, 2 onboard wideband controllers, 1 ignition switch input. If I attempted to seriously sit down and memorize top to bottom everything the ECU could do, I would miss Jasmine's entire birthday today. So I'm leaving it at that. Make your own decision on what's best for you. There's a lot of cool companies out there. There's a lot of great people out there. I will say that Haltech has been awesome to work with. This isn't a paid promotion. They didn't give me any of this stuff for free. This is just me speaking from the heart and saying, if you have an opportunity and you want to explore the Haltech lineup, make sure to hit dynasty.com or email me directly, logan.t@dynasty.com, and I'll get you sorted on a complete combination, whatever you need. I'll try to take care of you. Peace and chicken grease. I'm going to the Cincinnati Zoo.